very much. We may take our seats, please. Your Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable John Mutorwa, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works and Transport, Honorable Erastus Utoni, Minister of Urban and Rural Development, esteemed Gaub Emmanuel Gassep, Chairperson of the Council of Traditional Leaders, distinguished traditional leaders and senior traditional councillors, honorable ministers and deputy ministers in attendance, Honorable Laura MacLeod Kachirwa, Governor of Commerce Region, other invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ngidinwa Daniel. I'm the Executive Director in the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development, and I have the honor and privilege of directing this opening ceremony this morning. I would like to extend a very special word of welcome to His Excellency the President for having made time to join us despite his very, very busy schedule, as we all know. Your Excellency, Comrade President, welcome and thank you for being here in person. Please give a round of applause to our leader. A certain Keith Muth said the following: our culture, our traditions, our languages are the foundations upon which we build our identity, end of quote. I would like to welcome you to the 25th meeting of the Council of Traditional Leaders. And as we celebrate our cultures in diversity, I would like us to open our event with a cultural performance. And I would therefore like to invite the Safishuna Cultural Group to come and give us a performance. Safishuna Cultural Group. Your Excellency, while the Safishuna Cultural Group is coming through, Section 11 of the Traditional Authorities Act says the following: that nothing in this act, which is the Traditional Authorities Act of 2000, nothing in this act precludes members of a traditional community to address a traditional leader by the traditional title accorded to that office, but such traditional title shall not derogate from or add to the status, powers, duties, and functions associated with the office of a traditional leader as provided for in this act. Based on that, Your Excellency, as much as in terms of the law, all our traditional leaders are addressed by the title of chief, they also, as you know, in terms of their communities, they go by various traditional titles. And those range from Hompa, we have Fumu, we have Ovakwanilwa, we have Omte, Omite Domalelo, we have also Ohamba, we have Litunga, we have Skati, we have Umfumu, we have Gaub and Gauss, we have Captain, we have Nkosi, we have Ombara, and we have Kaya. Those are the various titles, Your Excellency, traditional titles that are used by the community themselves to address respectively their leaders. Do we have the Safishuna Cultural Group to come and give us a performance? Please give a round of welcome to the Safishuna Cultural Group. we are a bit pressed. You know, the space is a bit squeezed, so we hope they can still find space. Please give them a round of applause. I'm sure I'm speaking for all of us when I say that group has indeed ably represented the Safishuna name, because that name is a household name which is associated, among others, with our founding president, Safishuna, Sam Safishuna Nujoma. Once again, please give them another round of applause. And their performance was a celebration of our culture and the importance for us to keep to our cultural values and traditions. Honorable Laura McLeod Kachirwa, that was meant to actually warm up the stage for you. And I would like now to invite you to the podium to please welcome us to this great region of commerce. Please give the governor a round of welcome.
Thank you very much, Directors of Ceremony, the ED of the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development. Good morning. His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, the President of the Republic of Namibia. Honorable John Mutora, the Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia. Honorable Minister Erastus Utoni, Minister of Urban and Rural Development. Gaup Emmanuel Gassep, Chairperson of the Council of Traditional Leaders. Respected traditional chiefs and queens from different traditional houses, traditional councils, and their secretaries. Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Honorable Members of Parliament, Prof. Matengu, of the Rector of the University of Namibia, Honorable Members of the Council of Traditional Leaders, Her Worship the Mayor of the City of Windhoek, Honorable Regional and Local Councillors present this morning, respected community leaders, respected religious leaders, and respected invited guests, captains of industries, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Directors of Ceremony, honorable members of this August House, I'm very delighted and honored to officiate at this 25th annual meeting of the Council of Traditional Leaders here in our great commerce region. Let me from the onset not fail to register the gratitude of the entire commerce community for the honor to host this 25th annual meeting here in our beautiful region. Allow me to proudly and confidently confirm to you that this ceremony carries the blessing and the best wishes of the entire commerce inhabitants. The presence of the various governing structure of our communities here today at this opening ceremony signifies our support, solidarity, and the importance of our unity as public agents of this great Namibian nation. This 25th annual meeting comes at a time of our highly debated national issues of genocide, drought, land reform, gender-based violence, youth empowerment, and challenges of malnutrition and food security. These national issues and their related realities on the ground must at all times remind us, servants of this nation, that our mandate is to provide effective and efficient services to our citizens in any situation under normal or emergency, with or without sufficient resources. It comes at a time of the national call for eradication of poverty, the fight against corruption, combating of crime, reduction of unemployment, and the effective and speedy decentralization process to bring services closer to our communities. Directors of ceremony, our annual meeting found us at the very important time of our preparation for the national and presidential elections in November 2024, and the subsequent regional and local authority elections in 2025. This is always a time where we are to test as a nation and confirm and reflect the existence and relevance of our hard-won democracy and independence. At this mentioned national call of duties invites and continue to remind us the importance of our unity, royalty, and patriotism as citizens and governing organs of this great Namibian house, where no Namibians should feel left out. It is on the basis of this understanding that I'm confident this 25th annual meeting is a strategic intervention for the Council of Traditional Authorities to reflect on the efficiency of the past, present, and future undertaking as an equal player in the call of public service delivery in our common race of nation building. Honorable members, I also know that this platform is for your assessment and remapping of appropriate strategies for the preservation of our culture and tradition as custodians of this great inheritance of our beloved Namibian nation. Honorable members, Martin Luther King said, "Time is always right to do the right thing." And I agree with him that there is no wrong time to do the right thing. They say, all birds find shelters during the rain, but eagles fly above the clouds to avoid the rain. Therefore, platforms such as the Council of Traditional Leaders are appropriate avenues to fly the eagle ways. Directors of ceremony, allow me to wish you all strength and wisdom to face this challenging task with all diligence, vigor, and to the best of your abilities, custodians of our culture and tradition. Distinguished invited guests and honorable members in this house, please join me to extend our word of hearty welcome and gratitude to our guest of honor, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, the President of the Republic of Namibia, for allocating this ceremony in his hectic schedule. We can give him a round of applause. Another welcoming special remark and gratitude goes to our respected chiefs and queens from the different traditional houses, the traditional councillors, and their secretaries, as well as all the other dignitaries who blessed this occasion with their presence. I must confirm and assure you and everyone present here today that your presence here gives meaning and purpose to this ceremony. Directors of ceremony, allow me now on behalf of my office, and indeed on my own behalf, the Commerce Regional Leadership and the entire Commerce community, to extend the official well-known hospitality of the Commerce community. and the freedom of the city and the Great Commerce region, to all our great and guests for the duration of your visit here in Commerce Home. Respected traditional chiefs and queens, I offer you the freedom to visit our historic sites and heritage monuments in our great city of Windhoek. I know this is one of the ideal places to be visited by our custodians of our culture tradition because of their significance to our culture, tradition, and our history as a nation. Directors of ceremony, my assignment this morning was to give a welcoming remarks, but I thought of making those few remarks. Please feel welcome to our great commerce region and find yourself. Feel at home and leave the rest to us. As a habit, it has been and continue to be our responsibility to fill the space with a light and the warmth of commerce hospitality. Enjoy the beautiful city of Windhoek and experience the diversity of the land of the brave. Welcome to the 25th annual meeting of the Council of Traditional Leaders, and I wish you fruitful deliberation and prosperous way forward. And I thank you. Thank you.
Please keep it going for the Honorable Governor. Thank you, Honorable Governor, for welcoming our esteemed traditional leaders to Commerce, and particularly to Windhoek, the capital city. We now, and I'm sure they feel very, very much welcome. Once again, thank you, Honorable Governor, for that. Somebody says, and I quote, "A hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and to endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles." I would like Your Excellency to squeeze in a surprise performance by somebody who exactly exemplifies the quote that I've just shared with you. We have with us in the house a very talented Namibian who is visually, impaired, but he is exactly what I would term as a hero. He has not allowed his disability to stand in the way. I am inviting for one rendition, Mr. Harry, who is sitting right there, and just to give us a taste of what talent, he has. And then after that, I will then invite the next cultural group, that is the Siteketa cultural group, that will follow the one rendition that we are going to get from Harry Riander. Please, can I give you the floor and just welcome our president and the esteemed traditional leaders with one of your best performances. We'll call you later, but for now, I will squeeze you in for one performance. Over to you, sir. Beautiful. Indeed, very beautiful. I'm sure wherever his soul is, the late Jackson Kauyewa will be looking back and, feel proud that my people have not forgotten me. Thank you so much for that rendition. And indeed, Harry, you are exactly what Oscar Pretorius once said, and I quote, "You are not disabled by the disabilities you have. You are able by the abilities you have." Thank you very much. I'm sure the Siteketa Cultural Group, the stage is warm enough for you to come through, please. Welcome them to come and give us 2 performances. Thank you very much. Please give them another round of applause. We will have you back again. Thank you very much. And while they are walking away, I would like to share the following quote by the late Nelson Mandela, and it goes as follows. Our rich and varied cultural heritage has a profound power to help build our nation. Thank you for celebration of our cultural diversity and unity. I would like us now to invite to the podium. We are here for the 25th meeting of the Council of Traditional Leaders. And the Council as an institution has been functioning and has been held together because of the leader that has been elected democratically by all the members of the Council. The Council constitutes of 2 representatives from all the 53 recognized traditional authorities. The head of that institution, who is going to be our next speaker, I would like to share the following quote. Leadership is not about glorious crowning acts. It is about keeping your team focused on a goal and motivated to do their best to achieve the goal, especially when the stakes are high and the consequences really matter. This is exactly what the chairperson of the Council of Traditional Leaders has been doing to hold together the membership of that very important goal. Please join me in welcoming to the podium for his remarks the chairperson of the Council of Traditional Leaders, Gaub Emmanuel Kasep.
Good morning. If I look at the number of you in front of me now, and the number on my paper, this disappoints me. I never see so few traditional leaders in front of me in a council meeting. Nevertheless, we are here. Director of Ceremonies, Master Daniel, Executive Director, Minister of Urban and Rural Development. Your Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia. Honorable Erastus Utoni, Minister of Urban and Rural Development. Esteemed traditional leaders. Honorable Members of Parliament. Honorable Laura McLeod Kachirwa, Governor of Commerce Region. Other honorable governors present, Your Worship, Councillor Queen Omakano Kamati, Mayor of City of Windhoek, Honorable Sagulekeni J. Monde, Chairperson of the Commerce Regional Council, Honorable Regional and Local Authority Councillors, distinguished invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I am extremely honored to be part of the 25th annual meeting of the Council of Traditional Leaders in Namibia, a milestone that underscores the critical role traditional leaders play in promoting good governance. Reaching this 25th meeting is a significant achievement, but we have many challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic caused serious disruptions, including the suspension of our council meetings. During this difficult period, we remember the immense contributions of our late President, Dr. Hage G. Geingob, who played a crucial role in protecting our citizens from the virus. We also recall his dedication to the Council of Traditional Leaders, notably when he directed the Ministers of Urban and Rural Development in 2016 to undertake the study in the United Republic of Tanzania. The aim of this study was to understand how Tanzania managed the traditional authority affairs, as it was part of the recommendation from the white paper on the reformed traditional authorities in Namibia. The late Dr. Geingob was a pillar of strength for this council, always available when needed. His support in areas such as the designation of chiefs, dispute resolution, and the management of communal land was extremely valuable. May he should rest in eternal peace. Director of Ceremonies. The Council of Traditional Leaders was established under the Article 102 of the Namibian Constitution to advise the President of the Republic of Namibia on the utilization and control of communal land and on other critical matters. We are grateful to His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, the current President of the Republic of Namibia, for ensuring that the Council's mandate is remain effective. His recent visit to traditional authorities across the country reflect his dedication to leadership and his commitment to his people. Thank you, Master President, for honoring our invitation to officiate this meeting. Furthermore, we acknowledge the ongoing legal challenges surrounding chieftainship succession. These issues are crucial, and we trust that the government will continue to develop effective strategies to address them. Hence, we appreciate the government authorities' effort in resolve some of these challenges by defending some of the cases until certain cases are removed from the court roll. I call upon all Namibians, especially members of the royal families, to respect customary laws and resolve succession disputes according to your custom and traditions. And not through the court of the common law. Such disputes can leave traditional authorities without leadership and disrupt their administration. I hope the Ottoman Traditional Authority will honor its customs in appointing a successor to the late Chief Petrus Ugongo. May his soul rest in peace. While we appreciate the government's efforts in service delivery, we must remain mindful of Namibia's climatic challenges. It's a very dry country. The impact of climate change and drought is significant. We thank the President on the government for the declaration, declare a state of emergency over drought and for initiating food aid distribution to affected communities. I urge traditional leaders to ensure that the distributed food is used sustainably. This distributed food is used sustainably for household consumption and not trade for alcohol. Additionally, I request the Office of the Prime Minister to review the food distribution process to ensure equal allocation, especially for households with the highest number of dependents. The challenges surrounding water and sanitation are also critical. The lack of infrastructure, such as boreholes and water pipelines, has led strong losses of human lives. I urge the responsible sectors, such as the Office of the Governor, Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, and the regional councils, to collaborate with the traditional authorities to find permanent solutions to these issues. Another pressing issue is human-wildlife conflict, particularly in the Kavango region, where crocodiles and hippo attacks have resulted in many losses of lives. Wildlife continues to destroy our crop fields and is causing serious challenges for our communities. It is imperative that the Ministry of Environment, Forestry, Tourism develop and implement an emergency response unit to address such crises. Additionally, the benefit from tourism concessions should be equitably distributed among all Namibians. This approach will not only address issues of poverty and unemployment, but also ensure that the positive impact of the tourism are felt nationwide. Director of Ceremonies, in conclusion, let us continue to encourage our communities to engage in food security initiatives and enhance agriculture practices is a means to combat poverty. Traditional authorities should support rather than opposing land allocation for agricultural projects. Aimed at addressing food security, poverty, and employment. Lastly, as we approach this year's national elections, Let us participate actively in our democratic process. I encourage traditional leaders to avoid any form of violence or intimidation during the political campaigns. I hope we are all prepared to vote on November 27, 2024, to ensure that peace and stability continue to prevail in our country. Thank you, His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, for gracing this occasion. The Council of Traditional Leaders wishes you good health and success in your future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Please give it for our esteemed chairperson of the Council of Traditional Leaders, Gaub Gasep. And our able chairperson of the council has touched on a lot of pertinent issues, really, and the emphasis is really to say there is unity and there is success when we work together, and that all the challenges that we are having, if we only get together and talk to one another, we will be able to have solutions. And at the end of the day, all of us as a nation will be able to move forward. Thank you very much once again, our able chairperson of the Council of Traditional Leaders. By popular demand, I want to again invite Harry to give us another performance, and then he will be followed by the Shafishuna Cultural Group again. I want to invite them back. That will be after Harry's performance. Harry, you ready for us? Over to you. Thank you. Safishuna Cultural Group, can we have you now back into the hall? And while they are coming through, just to say just a few things about Harry. Besides his skill as a pianist, he has studied broadcasting, both radio and television. So he's multi-talented. Safishuna Cultural Group, please, can we have you again? Thank you. Thank you, Shafishuna Cultural Group. Thank you very much. And we are moving on with our program. A certain Joe Namath said the following, and I quote, "To be a leader, you have to make people to want to follow you. And nobody wants to follow someone who does not know where he is going." Our next speaker is the leader of this whole team, Your Excellency, including the Council of Traditional Leaders, resort under his portfolio. You have subnational governments, which are regional councils and traditional, and the local authority councils. We have 14 regional councils. We have 57 local authority councils in the country. And then you have 53 traditional authorities in the country. Issues of housing, resort under him, issues of rural development, they are all entrusted on the shoulder of the next speaker. Please join me in welcoming to the podium our able minister, Honorable Erastus Utoni, to come and deliver introductory remarks and to introduce our keynote speaker. Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much. Director of Ceremonies, Mr. Ngidinwa Daniel, who at the same time is the Executive Director in the Ministry of Urban Rural Development. Honorable John Mutorwa, Deputy Prime Minister, esteemed Gaub Emmanuel Kasep, Chairperson of the Council of Traditional Leaders, distinguished traditional leaders, honorable ministers and deputy ministers, I would like to recognize Dr. Kalumbi Shangula, Minister of Health and Services, Yvonne Dausab, Minister of Justice, my Deputy Minister in the Ministry of Urban Rural Development, Evelyn Nawases Tayele, my sister Lucia Vetboy, Deputy Minister in Home Affairs. At the same time, she's also sitting next to our Vice Chancellor of the University of Namibia, Kenneth Matengu. Thank you very much for gracing this event. The Governor of the Great Commerce Region, Honorable Laura MacLeod Kachirwa, I really also want to thank you very much. I also want to recognize in her absentia the Mayor of the Municipal Council of Windhoek, Queen Kamati. She has some lot of commitments. She really wanted to be here. Other mayors present here, distinguished invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and a deep sense of respect that I stand before you today at the official opening of the 25th annual meeting of the Council of Traditional Leaders here in our beloved city of Windhoek. This gathering, which unites our country's most esteemed traditional leaders, is certainly a testament to our dedication to preserving our cultural heritage and fostering community development. Director of Proceedings, as we assemble here, we must acknowledge the pivotal role that traditional leadership plays in our society. our traditional leaders are not just custodians of culture, they are also the backbone of our community. You embodied the wisdom, values, and traditions that have been passed down through generations. Your voices are vital in guiding our society through the complexities of modern governance while preserving the rich tapestry of our traditions. This year's meeting is a reflection of our collective commitment to address pressing issues facing our communities and our nation, that is from sustainable development and resources management to the pressing challenges of climate change and social justice. This council serves as a platform for dialogue and collaboration. My ministry stands firmly in support of the traditional leaders as we navigate these challenges together. We recognize that your insights and expertise provide invaluable guidance on how best to serve our communities. The urban and rural dynamics are crucial as we endeavor to promote equitable access to resources and opportunities for all Namibians. Our shared responsibility is to ensure that both urban and rural areas thrive harmoniously. The government is unwavering in its commitment as we continue to provide the necessary support for the effective functioning of the traditional authorities. In this regard, it gives me greater pleasure to reaffirm that government will continue to provide support to our 53 recognized traditional authorities in the following areas. Namely, 1, government provides financial support by giving monthly allowances to the chiefs, 6 senior traditional councils, 6 traditional councillors, secretary, and driver for all recognized traditional authorities. 2, almost all traditional authorities are provided with government vehicles, of which the ministry is providing maintenance, that is the maintenance costs. In addition to that, we also provide fuel money to all recognized traditional authorities on a quarterly basis. We capacitate traditional authorities by providing legal framework, that is training and train the boards of trustees of community trust funds for all recognized traditional authorities. We also make budgetary provision for building traditional authorities' offices. And lastly, the ministry further facilitates the hosting of the Council of Traditional Leaders annual meetings, where we provide both financial and human resources support during meetings. Apart from the above-mentioned support, the government is committed to provide support in other areas so that our traditional authorities will have the requisite skills and knowledge required to initiate and oversee long-term economic initiatives in their communities. Director of Ceremonies, with that said, Let me now perform my second task, and that is the task to introduce our keynote speaker of the day, and that keynote speaker who, under his leadership, our nation has continued to embrace the principles of unity in diversity, seeking to bridge the gaps that may exist among our various communities. His approach to governance embodies inclusivity, collaboration, and a strong commitment to fostering sustainable development across all sectors. Our keynote speaker has been a staunch advocate for the rights and voices of traditional leaders. He recognizes the invaluable role you played in our democracy and our local governance structures. Furthermore, he has worked tirelessly to ensure that the traditions of our people are not lost, but rather celebrated and integrated into the broader nation narrative. As we look forward to hearing his insight today, let us keep in mind the vision of our united Namibia, where the contributions of every community are acknowledged and valued. It is through collective actions and cooperation that we can build a bright future for our generation to come. With that, and with that great anticipation, I now request you all to rise while inviting His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, to deliver his address. Comrade President, the floor is yours.
Okay, please let us sit down. This young minister who make chiefs to stand up for a commoner is not. First, our director of ceremony, Medinwa Daniel, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister John Mutorwa, Honorable Medical Doctor Kalumbi Shangula, Minister of Health and Social Services, Lawyer Advocate Yvonne Dausab, Minister of Justice, rightly so, our esteemed Gaub Emmanuel Gassep, Chairperson of the Council of Traditional Leaders, distinguished traditional leaders from all corners of our country, Honorable Lucia Vetboy, Deputy Minister of Home Affairs, Immigration, and many other things, Honorable Evelyn Nawaseptayele, Deputy Minister of this ministry, our Governor, who welcomed us to her region, Laura MacLeod Kachirwa, Governor of the Commerce Region, and other governors who might be present here, the Chairperson of the Commerce Regional Council, John Monde, if you are here, and other Chairperson of regional councils. Her Worship is not here, the representative of the city of Windhoek, you are welcome to our council. Any regional and local authority councillor here, distinguished invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I was trying to ask Daniel to read all the titles again, loudly, of all of you who are here. What did you say?
Your Excellency, I said in terms of Section 11 of the Traditional Authorities Act, communities are allowed to address their leaders in their, by their traditional titles. And based on the recognized traditional authorities, they go by the following traditional titles. You have Hompa, you have Fumu, you have Omkwanirwa or Obakwanirwa, because it's several traditional authorities. You have Omche, Omche Domalelo, Omiche Domalelo, again. And then you have Ohamba, then you have Litunga, you have Shikati, and then you have Omfumu, then you have Gaub and Gauss, if it is a lady, and then you have Captain, you have Nkosi, and then you have Ombara, and then you have Kaya.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All of you are now recognized by your traditional titles. I was out on Namibia for a week and a half. I came back on Saturday. They said, as you put your bag in your house, you go to SWAPO meeting. Yesterday, I was at the SWAPO meeting. Today, I woke up in a mood saying, I'm going to my office. I have not seen my office. I'm going to the office. I said, there is one invitation here you cannot ignore. I say, what invitation is that? I say, please, I know you have been on the road and you have at the SWAPO meeting. Listen, that invitation, you cannot ignore it. I say, I'm going to be in my office the whole day from 9 to 5 o'clock. Then they show me that invitation is coming from the Council of Traditional Leaders. Are you going to ignore them? I said, oh, my Mukuru Wanja. So, I am here to respect you. I'm here to honor you. I'm here to show you that I, too, I am your child. You are my uncles and my aunties. How could I possibly ignore you to be here alone? So thank you very much for accepting that, although I'm a little bit tired and out of tune, I'm happy to be here. I'm honored to join our esteemed members of the Council of Traditional Leaders this morning. Let me express my sincere gratitude to you for having invited me to officiate at the opening of your 25th meeting, which is your Silver Jubilee. This is indeed a significant milestone for you, our traditional leaders, and the respected elders who continue to remain committed to serving our communities and contributing to peace, harmony, and development at the local, regional, and national levels. On this historic occasion, we reflect on those leaders and elders who have sadly passed on and can unfortunately not join us today. I am specifically referring to our third president, His Excellency Dr. Hage G. Geingob, who passed on the 4th of February this year. I also note the passing of Chief Petrus Ukongo of the Aino Dam Traditional Authority and other traditional councillors who have passed on during the course of this year. In their remembrance, in their honor in their respect, may I ask you, my traditional leaders, just to stand up, those who can, for 1 minute, to observe a minute of silence so that we remember them and respect them. Thank you very much. Let us sit down. Directors, proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, our traditional authorities continue to play a crucial role in our democracy. As the recognized custodians of culture and values in Africa in particular, traditional authorities command respect and support while performing important functions that uphold the governance structure of modern states. As a government, we remain fully cognizant of the role that our traditional authorities play in terms of promoting development and fostering unity, peace, and social harmony, particularly in our rural areas. This is why we will continue to acknowledge and accommodate our traditional leaders within government framework, as the minister, your line minister has already said. I am aware of the important role that our traditional authorities play during the town hall meetings conducted by my late brother and friend and comrade, Dr. Hage Geingob. And I have followed suit, ensuring that I meet with our traditional leaders and their representatives in the region that I have visited during my tenure as president. This is in line with our vision of national unity and the concept of the Namibian House, where we must all be role players in advancing our developmental agenda, and also where nobody, no traditional authority should feel left out. In societies such as ours, elders have always been a source of stability and bedrock of a united and a peaceful society. And they command society's honor and reverence. The people who are building society deserve to be honored and respected. Unfortunately, the integrity of traditional authorities and leadership nowadays has become under threat due to infighting and instances of leadership succession dispute that continue to threaten the peace and harmony within our regions. Everybody wants to be a chief. Everybody wants to be the next. Everybody wants to. Yeah, okay. I should not get political. This is a council of traditional authority. Such disputes do not only result in conflicts and lack of unity among members of the same traditional community, but also often result in government being forced to intervene and use public resources which could have otherwise been used for development and other critical needs, such as building schools for education of our children, building clinic for the health of our people, and uplifting the poverty, lifting our people out of poverty and needy situations. Instead, time and resources are used for conducting investigations and towards resolving dispute which can, in most instances, be easily resolved if parties, if families, if communities follow their own traditional laws. As traditional authorities, your primary interest should be the advancement of wider community and augmenting traditional values and norms. let us learn to place our collective interest above our personal interest. Esteemed traditional leaders, ladies and gentlemen, while government places a high premium on fighting hunger and poverty in Namibia, we are unfortunately faced with a severe drought situation which has reduced food security and livelihood of many of our communities, especially thousands of subsistence farmers. Farmers are under threat. Our success in dealing with the drought situation calls for greater unity and for us to pull together at all levels in order to deal with this unprecedented challenge of the drought. As you are aware, the government, in response to the severe drought situation, has declared a state of emergency and called for urgent interventions, including the approval of a drought relief budget. We also have appealed to international communities. Some countries have already decided to help us in terms of food. Those food might not be the traditional one you eat. Some are giving us rice. Let's use that. My appeal will be, really, for our traditional authority to ensure that no member of our community die from hunger while there are food in the country. Let us learn how to distribute that. Traditional authority, regional councillors, local authority councillors, and everybody else, ministries, Office of the Prime Minister, Office of the President, we must really work together to ensure that nobody, because we have some money, we have some resources to address that challenge. I will not want to hear that a person has died in a particular community where there are chiefs, where there are government officials. It is crucial that we all appreciate the magnitude of this challenge and therefore endeavor at all times to cut costs and do more with less in order to ensure that we are able to help and support those citizens who are most in need. Not those who want, but those who are in need. I therefore look forward to the continued contribution of the traditional authorities and leaders in support of other national developmental programs and initiatives, such as the maintenance of law and order. Law and order is important in all our communities, especially a zero tolerance gender-based violence, violence against children, and discrimination of any member of our society, especially the weak and the marginalized and those with disability. At this juncture, and I think it's a nice time to recognize and give an applause that people with disability does not mean they don't have any ability. Even if you give me that piano, there is nothing I can do. But he can do that. God bless us all to use our talent to the best of our ability and for contributing to our society. At this juncture, let me pay homage to our traditional leaders for their continued support in fighting against poverty and crime. Your contribution remains invaluable and an inspiration to the future generations of traditional leaders who will be expected to deal with the challenges that continue to confront our people, especially those living, once again, in rural communities. In the same vein, let me call on you to ensure that all members of your communities who will be participating in the Presidential and National Assembly elections on November 27, 2024, do so in a free and peaceful manner, thereby maintaining Namibia's good track record of conducting peaceful elections. As I have said, we all have an important task to continue with our democratic legacy. That in itself imposes responsibilities on all of us. Traditional leaders, it is your freedom and the freedom of your community to make sure that you vote for the persons, for the organization, for the parties of your choices, not dictated by a president who lives in Windhoek. Director of Proceedings, esteemed traditional leaders, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I would like to state that Namibia will only meet its developmental aspirations if our traditional authorities continue to remain stable, reliable, and active participants in the local, regional, and national governance of our country. To the current generation of traditional leaders, may you continue to uphold our collective moral values, customs, and norms, and to put the interests and welfare of our communities first and foremost. Let our traditions continue to guide us and keep us on course towards greater peace, greater stability, and greater prosperity. Let me have say a special thank you to all our traditional leaders. You accept me as your president before I even knew that I was a president. I visited your regions, you never said, this guy is not the president yet. All of you have accepted me. I thank you for that. I was in one traditional authority and I was giving the apology that they said, we know you. Even when you are out of the office, we will follow you to your farm. Don't follow me to my farm. When I'm out of the job, next year, don't follow me to my farm. Or at least call so that I prepare the meat for you before you arrive. So this might be, since you have only one annual meeting, next year you have other leaders to address you. But if you invite me, I will be sitting somewhere during the opening ceremony. Then later I will go. I'm just showing how happy I am to be with you. That's why I'm making my speech to be longer than necessary. Thank you once again. I therefore wish you fruitful deliberations and now declare that the 25th annual meeting of the Council of Traditional Leaders of the Republic of Namibia is here officially open, and I thank you.
Please keep it going for His Excellency the President. Your Excellency, on that day of the 4th of February this year, when the dark cloud engulfed the nation of Namibia, and our institutions and processes kicked in, you were the chosen one to pick up the baton. Nelson Mandela said the following: courage is not the absence of fear. It is inspiring others to move beyond it. Indeed, Comrade President, you held us together, and up to now, you made sure that we continue to move forward in spite of the loss of our third president. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for making the time and for your all-rounded, inspiring statement. The king of reggae, Bob Marley, said the following, and I quote, "One good thing about music is that when it hits you, you don't feel the pain. Indeed, if there's anything, you would want to ask for more." So with that, and His Excellency has actually spoken to Harry, I would like him to respond and give gratitude to His Excellency. He will be followed by the Siteketa Cultural Group, who will give us 2 performances. And after that cultural group, I also want to give the men and women in uniform, the brass band, also to give us 2 selections after that. Harry, you ready for us? Over to you. Thank you very much, Harry. Can we have the Siteketa Cultural Group to come in, and then they will be followed by our men and women in uniform. Shall we have now the NDF brass band to give us 2 selections, please? Thank you very much, our men and women in uniform, for that very beautiful performance. I was looking at His Excellency the President, and he was all nodding, you know, enjoying, as the Commander-in-Chief, enjoying his soldiers perform to him. Thank you very much once again. We are nearing our program to the end of our program, and I would like to invite our next speaker, and with a quote. There's a quote that says that no one who has achieved success has done so without appreciating, you know, the people that have contributed to that success. please join me in welcoming to the podium our Deputy Minister, Honorable Namases Tayele, Evelyn Namases Tayele, who is going to move a vote of thanks. Comrade Deputy Minister.
Thank you so much, our Director of Proceedings, our ED of the Ministry, Kintinwa Daniel, for inviting me to the podium. Your Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Bumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable John Mutorwa, Honorable Minister Utoni, Honorable Erastus Utoni, Minister of Urban and Rural Development, esteemed Gaup Emmanuel Nuaha, Chairperson of Council of Traditional Leaders, distinguished traditional leaders, let me stand by the protocol already established by our able and very eloquent Director of Proceedings. I am honored and delighted for the opportunity given to me to move a vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to thank the President, His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Bumba, for having graced this auspicious occasion in person despite his very busy schedule to come and officiate at this annual meeting of the Council of Traditional Leaders. Your Excellency, we are greatly humbled and honored by your presence, which signifies the importance that you attach to our traditional leaders and their constitutional role in advising you on customary land rights and traditional authority matters. Your speech was inspiring and set the right leadership tone and call on traditional communities and leadership to seek to resolve disputes amicably and using customary laws and in the spirit of unity and nation building. Once more, Your Excellency, and we wish you a very good health and wisdom to continue to lead this beautiful country of ours in prosperity. Next, I wish to acknowledge and thank our ever able Minister, Honorable Erastus Utoni, for his hands-on leadership and guidance, which ensured that all of us, our President, our esteemed traditional leaders, and invited guests are here for this important meeting of the Council of Traditional Leaders here today. Through your comrade, Minister, I wish to thank our team of officials from our ministry and other partners, institutions led by our Executive Director that worked very tirelessly together in a very true Harambee way to ensure that all the logistical arrangements are in place for this meeting to having take place as planned and as directed by you and the Chairperson of the Council of Traditional Leaders, Gaup Ngasip. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the opening of this year's annual meeting of the Council of Traditional Leaders. Gaup Emmanuel Nuaha Ngasip, the Chairperson of the Council of Traditional Leaders, is the glue that is holding together the Council and its members. Thank you, Gaup, for your steadfast leadership and dedication towards the preservation of our traditional values and cultures in their diversity. I equally want to express my gratitude to all our esteemed traditional leaders for serving their communities and for being here in person or through their delegated representatives. We wish you a very fruitful deliberations and a very good stay in your capital for the duration of your meeting. Honorable Laura McLeod Kachirwa, Governor of Commerce Region, the host region for this year's annual meeting of the Council of Traditional Leaders, thank you for your welcoming statement. I'm sure that you are joined by all the residents of the capital city, Windhoek and Commerce Region, in welcoming our traditional leaders, and that you and the residents of the region will make our visiting traditional leaders to feel home during their 5-day stay in this beautiful city of ours, as you have eloquently already alluded to in your welcoming statement. To all other various stakeholders and invited guests, we are here in person for this opening ceremony, and others who are following our proceedings online through the platforms that our partner, the NBC, has made possible. You are acknowledged and very much appreciated. We are grateful to our talented cultural group, in particular Master Harry Rieter and the NTF Brass Band for their beautiful performances that kept us entertained. Our gratitude equally goes to the media in general, and especially the national broadcasting for the coverage of this very beautiful event. To our Director of Ceremonies, thank you for always ably steering this program that has brought us to the end of today's auspicious event. Last but not least, our collective gratitude goes to the Almighty God for the blessing of this beautiful day and for His continued mercy and protection. As I'm concluding once again, thank you all and God bless you all. I thank you.
Please keep it going for the Honorable Deputy Minister for her moving vote of thanks. And I believe it's just right on behalf of all of us sitting here also to convey our gratitude and our appreciation to the Honorable Deputy Minister for moving the vote of thanks. Please, once again, a round of applause. We are moving towards the end of our program, and I would like to take this opportunity to just make a few announcements. As a tradition, and while we are having our first citizen with us, our esteemed traditional leaders, we are going to have a photo session with His Excellency and the dignitaries who are here. That will be done at the stairs on the other side of the hotel. We will have a team that will be ushering us to that venue. Then after that, we've been here for some time now, and I believe we need to quench our thirst. We also want to have some networking besides the formal meeting that the members of the council are going to have from the afternoon. So we have arranged some lunch for all of us. We will have our esteemed traditional leaders. You're going to go to the other side of the hotel. You'll be directed, and then the rest of the guests they will go to the main hotel, and then everybody is catered for. Our men and men and women in uniform, our cultural groups that are performed for us. There is also arrangement for you. So with that, I want to kindly ask us to stand up so that then we can formally close our event with the AU and national anthems. Thank you very much. May you remain standing while we allow His Excellency and the entourage to exit. Once again, thank you very much. I also want our traditional leaders, after His Excellency.